Hi everyone, I feel like it's been a while, even though it really hasn't, I guess. Welcome back. Today we're going to be doing another ranking video, which it has been a while since I've done one of those. Today we're going to be ranking Baldur's Gate 3 characters on how homophobic they are. I thought this would be kind of like a cute little idea to do for the end of Pride Month, to kind of like finish it off with something a little bit, kind of Pride themed. Okay, so here's the tier list right here. Let me move my little VTuber self in this corner just so I'm not in the way. So here's the tier list here. The top tier, I kind of had this set up of like how they'd react to you coming out, or like just like anyone coming out, because I feel like that was the easiest way to kind of like quantify this. For the top tier of the tier list, we have "That's great, I'm happy for you." This is the most like positive reaction. Right under that we have just "Cool," like still, you know, very positive, but just kind of like a little more nonchalant. Then under that we have just "Okay." This person just kind of like is extremely neutral on it. It's not really that much of a big deal to them. Then we have "Obviously." This is like a little bit, not necessarily like negative, but just, you know, a little bit not the nicest to say. And then under that we have "Gay and homophobic," because I feel like there's quite a few characters that would fit into that category. And then underneath that we have just normally homophobic and terrible. So let's get into the ranking. So first off, we have Astarion here, or Astarion, however you want to pronounce his name. I usually pronounce it like Astarion. So first off, we have him. I think he's gonna go in the "obviously" category, because he has kind of very much that like just his general attitude is very like that. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just like he would be the type to, like, if you come out to him, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, I knew, obviously." I considered having him in the tier below, but like I feel like, especially if we're going off of like end of the game where we have like strong connections to all the companions, then like I think he'd go here. Next up we have Gale. I think Gale either could go in one of these two tiers. I'm gonna put him in the top one. "That's great, I'm happy for you," just because I feel like, especially when you have a good connection with Gale, he's like very interested in you, I guess. He's very like supportive towards like you and everything. I think he'd be a good fit up there. Next we have Halsin. I'd say I'll put Halsin in the cool category. I think he would definitely be like very supportive. He would just be a little more like nonchalant about it, compared to like some of the other characters. I'm gonna put Jaheira in the same one, same deal, very supportive, just like not the most extravagant of reactions. Next we have Karlach here. I'm putting Karlach at the top of the tier list. I absolutely love Karlach. She's my favorite character. That's totally not making my decision biased at all, but like genuinely though, like even if she wasn't, like I think she would just be like extremely like excited. She's very like excitable in like a very good way, and I think she would be like very like happy for you that you were like that you felt comfortable like telling this to her. Now we have Lae'zel. I'm gonna put her in the same category as Astarion. Again, kind of I was considering putting her in the tier below, but I think this one's a good fit for her. She's also kind of like she's also like kind of like mean to you throughout the game. Even like kind of when you have a little bit of a better relationship with her, she still like has a little bit of that like rudeness, I guess. Next we have Minsk, who you meet later in the game. I think at least I met him in Act 3 on my playthrough. I think that's the only time you can meet him. I don't think you can see him earlier than that. I'm gonna put him also in the top tier. I feel like he's also like very excitable, just kind of like Karlach is. Again, like in a good way. This is not like a negative like excitability. Like it's like a very like pleasant, I guess that's a weird way of describing it, but like a very just like nice like positive vibes, like very excitable. So I think he would have this kind of like more extravagant reaction. He wouldn't just be like he wouldn't be as nonchalant about it. Next, we have Minthara, who I didn't actually see on my playthrough. On my only playthrough of the game that I did is like a good playthrough. I didn't do like an evil playthrough yet. So I actually didn't really get to experience Minthara that much just because she's like an evil character. From what I know about her, I am going to put her in the gay and homophobic tier just because I feel like that's like the general consensus of the fandom that that's where I think she'd be. And yeah, she just kind of really feels like she'd fit like that kind of vibe. Like she'd like say something negative about your sexuality to you, and like even though she's in the community, it'd still feel really like targeted, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna put her in that tier there. Now we got Shadowheart, who I'd say is probably my second favorite character. I do really like Will too, but probably these two are probably tied for my second favorite companion. Karlach's obviously my first. I'm gonna put Shadowheart. I'm gonna also put her in the cool category because I think she'd also be kind of like nonchalant about it. Like, I keep using that word, but like that's the only word I can really like think of to describe that, is just like very chill, very low-key, like not like as much of a reaction. I'm gonna put Will in the top tier. I think there's a good spot for him. I don't know. I mean, like the placement of each character like within the tiers that doesn't really matter that much to me, just 'cause I feel like that's gonna be hard to do, to like rank them within the tiers. But yeah, I think Will's gonna go in that top tier there. He's also like very supportive, just like in a similar vein to Gale, like very supportive, especially as you get to know him. Now we have Ketherick. He's going in the just homophobic tier because he sucks, and yeah, that's it. No, but he just like kind of his general energy is very negative to me, and also he is like actively opposing his daughter and Dame Aelin, who are in a queer relationship. So like that feels like kind of maybe a little bit targeted. I don't know if that's probably not like intentional necessarily, but like I don't know about that. I don't know. It feels a little targeted on his part. Now we have Orin, who is one of the antagonists in Act 3. Ketherick is the Act 2 main one. Now we have Orin, and then Gortash is over here for the Act 3 ones. I'm going to put Orin in the gay and homophobic tier. I definitely can kind of like see her like kind of act similarly to Minthara in like how I described earlier. Like, you know, she's just kind of very hostile despite being in the community. Now we have Alfira, who I interacted with a little bit on my playthrough, but not as much as you can in like certain other routes. Like I think the Dark Urge route has like more to do with her, as far as I know. I'm gonna put her in the cool category. Let's put her at the top of the cool category because I feel like she's like very like sweet and nice. Put her up there, same kind of like very nice reaction, but like not making a big deal about it, being very like low-key and everything. Dame Aelin, let's also put in there. I'd actually put her at the top now that I think about it. Dame Aelin, and then when I get to Isabel, she'll be at the top too. I'll put Isabel, may as well just put Isabel there now. I'm putting them in the cool tier, not that that's great, I'm happy for you tier, just because I feel like they'd both be kind of like used to like I guess like used to it in a way. They would just be very, again, like chill, like calm about it, but like they'd be still extremely supportive. Now we have Gortash, Lord Enver Gortash, as the game calls him. I hate this guy so much. It's totally not just because Karlach really hates this guy. It's totally that's totally not the only reason. He's also gonna go in the gay and homophobic here. I'll put him above Orin. Look at this like sad little like emo boy and tell me that he does not go in this tier. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, he's this is where he belongs. I don't know how else to describe it other than that. Now we have I'll do Orpheus and the Emperor at the same time, just because they're kind of like they kind of have like similar-ish roles, I guess, and they're also in the same tier. They both are gonna go in the okay tier. I feel like they wouldn't really care either way. It's just not important to either of them. Like, I'd say, like, they just have bigger things going on, and they just, like, really couldn't care less about your identity. Like, not necessarily in, like, a negative way, just, like, they have more important stuff to deal with, I guess. If anyone wants to know, I did side with Orpheus in my good playthrough, just because, like, the Emperor seemed, like, kind of sketchy, and, like, siding with Orpheus and making him turn into, like, the Mind Flayer towards the end, I think was the best way to, like, have all the companions get, like, a pretty happy ending that I wanted for them. Now we got the last three we can just do really quickly. Raphael, gay and homophobic tier. Let's put him above Orin. Same with Mizora. Let's put her below Orin. It's hard to explain this tier, like give reasoning for it. It's just really just vibes. Like, do I just like feel like they are LGBTQ, and then like also are they like evil pretty much is another qualifier, I guess, for this tier. Because I feel like they would, considering like their evilness, they would be willing to discriminate against their own community. I don't know. And then finally, a little bit underwhelming, I guess, just as a final one, but it's fine. We have Vlaakith, who is the Lich Queen of the Githyanki, who's like she's like a minor antagonist. She's like a big deal as a character, but like not super important to the story of Baldur's Gate. She's gonna go in the just homophobic tier, just because, you know, she's like she's basically a dictator, and like historically dictators and things like that are not very fond of queer people. So here's the final list. For the top tier, we got Karlach, Gale, Will, and Minsk. For the tier a little below that, we got Aelin, Isabel, Alfira, Halsin, Jaheira, and Shadowheart. Tier below that, we have Orpheus and the Emperor. Then we have Astarion, Lae'zel. Below them, we have Minthara, Gortash, Raphael, Orin, and Mizora. And then finally, we have Ketheric and Vlaakith. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this. I might try to come up with more ranking videos somewhat soon, because they are pretty fun to make. I just haven't gotten the chance to make one in a little while. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!